So my name's Emily Shaffer. I'm from Michigan. I came via Boston, and now I live in Silicon Valley. I'm a software engineer, and I work primarily on an open source project called OpenBMC. And that's an embedded microcontroller that we use to do sort of management functions on production quality servers. I've been in tech since I started school in 2010. I graduated in 2015, and I've been working full time since then. So it's kind of actually a funny story. When I was in high school and really impressionable, I read this book by a guy called Cory Doctorow. And this book was a young adult fiction novel about a bunch of kids engaging in cyberpunk hacking in the wake of a terrorist attack. And so the whole book kind of has this overarching theme that everybody should learn their way around their computer and learn their way around especially security and how to basically make sure that nobody's spying on you through your computer. And I found it really inspiring. So after I finished that book, I went and installed Linux on my laptop that was not really mine to install Linux on, and I started to learn to code, and it was so much fun to really be able to like tweak and make everything work just the way that I wanted to, that I just kept going, and then I went to school for it, and now I'm here. Probably the biggest challenge that I've faced came from inside me. I had a lot of internalized concepts about what it means to be an engineer and what kind of person is an engineer. So I spent a lot of time worrying about my image to my peers. I kind of thought that everybody must assume that I'm not very smart or must assume that there's somebody else doing all of my work for me. And that was probably the most difficult thing for me, just to understand that like, I think I did a lot more work than I needed to get other people to take me seriously. The number one piece of advice that I would give is that you should make friends with people who are really, really passionate about technology and really passionate about bettering themselves and excellence. And regardless of their gender, anybody that you make friends with who really, really cares about excelling in the technology field is going to really help you gain a lot of confidence, because as you excel, they're going to see how cool that is, right? And they're going to be like a big cheerleader for you. And there's a lot to be said about hanging out with a bunch of people who are kind of like you and maybe kind of non-traditional, and geeking out about technology and having it just nothing to do with your personal identity, but like, you know, like these people who basically aren't like majority straight male engineers sitting around like talking about hardcore like C++ compiler. This is exactly how the compiler works. Like that's so much fun and really, really encouraging when you're still just learning to kind of talk that through with somebody. Outside of work, I'm still kind of a control freak outside of work too. So I make all kinds of stuff. I like to sew. I've been sewing for about 10 years. I just started knitting a few months ago. I solder a little bit in my spare time, but less so because it's kind of like work. Mostly, I really just like to make stuff exactly the way that I want it to, which is part of the reason that I love coding so much. I also really enjoy dog trick training and dog agility. That's a lot of fun, and really different from anything else that I usually do. So I like going to restaurants that usually restaurants that make something special or different or do something in a different way. And I typically like to go somewhere new every time. There's one British pub near my house that I like to go to a lot. They have really excellent cocktails. So I usually listen to music actually kind of to create certain moods for myself. So like at work, I like to listen to really high energy instrumental music or like something else like non-interruptive but really upbeat because I find it helps me be more productive at work. And then like when I'm at home, I kind of like to relax and listen to like something kind of a little bit more chill. Like I like some jazz I really enjoy. Or like when I'm driving, I like to listen to stuff that I can sing really poorly to, so I listen to all kinds of stuff, but mostly to sort of instigate certain moods in myself, which is a little weird, but fun, works for me.
Why? Why?